Many have asked, where did it come from? What was the inspiration? What triggered, that Stage on Fire piece? And I just thought I'd give the story, the whole big story. Not that it's over and done with, of the last couple of months of my life, really, which for me would be historical, the most memorable, quite a memorable part of my journey. I don't think I'll ever forget. What an experience. Actually, if we go back to Easter weekend 2022, my brother Bert, my little brother Bert, he and his wife, they run Brass to the World, our orchestra. And they asked me to come and do some brainstorming with them on Easter Sunday for some ideas for Carnival 2023. So I was at their home and we were just shooting ideas, and he was thinking of bringing on board in his band Ronnie McIntosh and Super Blue to join them on stage 2023. And we were already vibing on that. And I suggested to him that he brand that performance instead of just saying Brass to the World with Ronnie McIntosh and Super, that somehow we brand that performance and give it an identity of its own. We started to shoot ideas around that, names and stuff. And then I suggested, what about Stage on Fire? So that was it. That was the first mention of Stage on Fire. I thought it would be such a dynamic thing, Brass to the World, Super Blue and Ronnie, because the idea was not to feature them individually, coming and sing a few songs and go. It was about having them all on stage at the same time, and going one song in, one song out, one song in, one out. And he was planning all sorts of dynamics to go with it and stuff, and I think that inspired the concept to me of Stage on Fire. And I left there, we spoke and whatever, and I got out of there. But on my way home I was saying, if they were to go forward with it, Stage on Fire, as a team, I think there should be a song to go with it. I'm just driving and talking to myself here, and I filed that under Z. And I went back in my studio. It was a period in time in 2022, the Abbott challenged Alfred is my panist. We play for the Daily Masters of the Mount, and he challenged us to come up with a suite of music for the Mount, community service music for the Roman Catholic, celebration of the Roman Catholic Mass. And we were actually into that. And I remember that night I was working on the Lamb of God. And I guess this happens with all composers. Most composers, you get up at 2:30 in the morning, and that's when the ideas really flow. So that next morning I got up at 2:30 to go and put some touches on the Lamb of God that I was doing. And while I was on the keyboard playing with the Lamb of God, what was actually coming to me in the back of my mind was fire, 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 fire. And I think subconsciously I was being distracted with the Stage on Fire. It can't be anything else. Until it was just overpowering. I had to rest down the Lamb of God and just play with the fire a little bit, And in that little space, I worked on it probably until maybe 5, because that's the time I would leave to go to Mass. And in that period, I more or less had a chorus on Stage on Fire, And I went to Mass singing that chorus in my head. I did the Mass. I finished Masses up there around 7:30. And immediately after, on the altar, confessing here now, I went back into the fire on the church organ. And I got a verse. So I had a verse and a chorus by 8 o'clock the next morning, seriously. And when I returned to my studio here, it just flowed. Verse after verse, we only recorded 3 verses, but I probably wrote about 6 verses. You know, it was just flowing. It was just coming. And that was Easter Monday, and I worked on that song almost every day for the next 8 months. Seriously. My dog, my pet dog, Santana, I always joke Santana could sing this song. He must be so fed up of hearing this song, you know. But yeah, I was pretty happy with it. September, October, in all that period there, the question in my mind was who was going to sing it. And if the Stage on Fire concept was going to go forward, then it should be Super or Ronnie or maybe both. So I brought Super into the studio actually one night after rehearsal, because the band room was just we next to each other, my studio and Brass in the World studio, and he just loved it, and we said well, we'll talk further about it. I was doing a lot of traveling at that time. He was doing a lot of traveling at that time, and we just couldn't seem to get the time together to spend on the song, and time was going. I wanted to hear the song. I can't sing. I will write and I will produce, but I really can't sing. But having said that, when I do a song and I sing it and it's sounding good, then I know the song has something in it, and the song was sounding good. Yeah, so I brought in, at that time, Delina Diamond was singing with Brass in the World, so I brought Delina in to do a demo for me so I could hear a proper voice on the song. Still having in mind Super. And she came and we started a vibe in the song, and she was really blown on it, and she was getting more and more into it. And when she started to sing, then my whole mindset changed. I was so fixed on a male voice delivering the song, and I saw then that it really didn't matter that a female could also do this song, you know. So I started to entertain other names to do the voicing, but Delina was just getting more and more into it, and I was pretty happy with the job that she was doing on it. So we did the demo with her voice, and I rested down a little bit. I traveled. I went to Miami, and I came back, and again I couldn't. Super was now into the studio doing his own stuff now, you know, and the clock was ticking. I brought back in Delina, and we did some more work on it, and again the song was just fitting Delina like a glove on her hand. She was really doing an exceptional delivery, and eventually I said, well, why not Delina? This is how young people get opportunities. Everybody was liking the song, everybody was liking what they were saying, and maybe this could be an opportunity to introduce Delina on a bigger stage. I say, yeah, what the hell. I think about giving her the chance to go forward as the final voice on the track. Of course, the advice from the pros is, nah, you need a big name on this. And they start to throw all the big names, male or female, at me. But something in the back of my head was telling me, hey, give her that break. Go ahead with it. If the song is good enough, really, on its merit, it shouldn't matter who really sing it once it's sung properly. And you could not fault her execution to eliminate her from the track because nobody knew of her. in terms of comparing with the other known names. That's not me. You know, that's just not me. And I eventually, as I said, against advice, the buck stops here, and I took the decision I am going to go forward with Delina on the track. And she stayed on the track. During the period when I was still doing the community service music for the mass and working on this, I think they fed off each other, because, I mean, this is how the Lamb of God eventually ended up. I said, you know, I can't sing, but I mean, I have aids in the studio to help me to at least do a little something. So this keyboard here has a chord on it, and I started to fool around with me playing and singing, and this is where the song was going. But the final voice on the track there now, and really listening to it more and more, everybody was commenting, and certainly I recognized it a little way even before, that this song is really for the pan instrument, you know. So having returned and being happy with the track there, I have nothing to lose in this. I say reach for the stars. If you want a pan side to play a song, which pan side you really want to play a song? And we just narrowed down the top 4 bands, and yeah, I said let me just shoot it at them, and a favorable response came from the arranger of All Stars, Leon Smooth Edwards. He was quite impressed with it. He liked a lot of things in it. Yeah, and it was he was interested at least taking it into the panyard, and that to me, that was quite a remarkable achievement at that point in time. tell you something. When when I first look at my notes, my manuscript, you would see that second verse, that second verse really went Despers, they're ready. The fans tune are ready. They're ready for the bacchanal. All Stars and Moko, them bands from Tobago, that's how it was, you know. And that eventually, well, changed. All Stars, they're ready. Fans and our friends, they're ready for the festival. Despers and Moko, them bands from Tobago. Yeah, and the rest is history there. So, Smooth took the song into the Panyard, and they have their process where they go through, they pick several songs and they play around and they make the decision where they go forward. And that took a lot of time, that process. You would realize that a lot of bands had announced what songs they were playing, was even published in the media, and there was a blank next to All Stars. Because they were still, I suppose, trying to make what would be the best choice for them. And I think what complicated that process to one of the senior panelists also composed a song, beautiful song. And I guess that would have caused some complications, or a lot of consideration would have had to be given. So it was not an easy decision for them. You know, given all the things that they were dealing with. It took pretty long to really decide what they were going to do. Even after they made the final decision, there were still varying mindsets in the Panyard. Yeah, that's what it was in going forward. But the decision was made, and they decided that they were going forward with this song. So I spent the better part of the next 2 months, 6 weeks, every night in the Panyard, supporting them, supporting the arranger. I'm pretty excited to see what was taking place with the song. It was getting a life of its own. Then came the social media attacks. Whoa. I guess I run with the big boys then, oh, you had to take it, right? Social media was savage. You know, I had to take my skin to read some of those comments, and then people were split on the decision of All Stars to do this song, which again wasn't getting much help from the radio stations. There's a whole next video to do about the radio stations. My grandmother, Rosalie, wise woman, she left me with many sayings, and one of her sayings was, if you have nothing good to say, say nothing. So we'll leave the radio station alone for now. You know? So I had to use the social media platforms to get the song outside there. And well, All Stars will do their bit on their platforms to assist in putting the song outside there, and then more effectively. Many were saying that the song wasn't popular enough for them to be played. But really, what is Panorama about? Panorama is really to analyze the competencies of the arranger and the execution of the players. That's really what it is. It's not a popularity contest. At least that's how I see it. You know, the judges, whereas the public may tend to be swayed by the popularity of the tune of choice. Personally, in my little mind, I think the judges are supposed to be above that. They're supposed to be really analyzing arrangement and execution, and should not be too bothered about the popularity of the song. I mean, because this is not the only song that wasn't getting the required airplay. I think the guys at Phase 2 had a lot of issues in terms of that too. And I suppose every year with Boozy and his own compositions, and it's really not about the popularity, it's about the execution and the arrangement. And as I say, the judges are supposed to have a different ear from John Public. Whether they put on that ear, this wrongs here, I'm not too sure, but to me, that's what it's supposed to be about. Many also, I mean, so there was this cry that the song wasn't popular enough and in and out of the Panyard, and that they should be playing the song. So I had that, as I say, that kind of bittersweet journey. You're on a high and yet you're on a low, because this was a daily, almost hourly attack. I remember tuning into on a Saturday morning, hoping to hear a little bit of Stage on Fire, and boop, the bus is Stage on Fire. Say, wait, phone ringing, everybody liking it. And up and say, Tobago Fine All Stars should play that song. He just thought that he needed to say that. He was so moved that he had to say that, you know, on the air to give his opinion. He do find All Stars. He know choosing what song All Stars should play, you know. And it was a lot of that I had to contend with. And then came the preliminaries, and All Stars placed third. So in terms of the new music that was composed for 2023, that bands were choosing, and we talk Stage on Fire, we could talk Voice, we Love Soca, we could talk Destra, did a song, we could talk Olatunji. Those are the other tunes of choice by the Pan Sides. Of all the 2023 compositions that were chosen by the state bands, Stage on Fire came the highest. So that did a lot of pushing back to those who were highly negative about the song. And even the Panya then decided to come together a little more strongly after the preliminaries, based on the performance of the band, the song then. But it was too late for that sort of camaraderie. I don't know. If we had that from day one, I'm sure the picture might have been a different picture. Yeah, so they went forward in the semi-finals, they came fourth, and in the final analysis, they came fifth. Yeah, and that was Stage on Fire there. As I said, it was quite an experience. I learned a lot, a lot about politics, a lot of, let's say, I had to thicken the skin a little bit and deal with all the tralala around it. It's a crazy business, this soca music thing. I don't know when that fight down would stop. You know, I think I should use this opportunity to make a plug, not on my own behalf, but on behalf of other young creators, producers, singers, that the program directors in the media, that you guys need to think outside the box and find a way to accommodate the abundance of music that you're getting, because what you guys hide behind is that there's so much music, we can't play all the music. I hear that, and maybe you should challenge yourself to see if you can play all the music. If you don't get all, you at least increase the percentage in what you're doing. What you guys actually end up doing is playing 10 songs whole day, whole night, for 6 weeks. You know, and certainly I feel personally that you could do better than that. We've got a lot of creators are just being frustrated. Obviously, radio has become a bad word to many outside there. Challenge yourself to do a little better and help the creators rather than hang them and leave them out to dry there, you know. Yeah. So Stage and Fire came, Stage and Fire went. As I said, quite an experience. And what's next? Well, on Ash Wednesday I launched Dewey. Yeah. So I just released Dewey, and I did a lot of writing in 2022. I did about 14 productions. So I've kicked off 2023, Stage and Fire, Dewey, and we wait to see how it all unfolds going forward. I would like to thank all who supported my inner circle. All Stars, what a great institution. I mean, whoa, having worked on the inside, and you know, just enough respect for Massy Trinidad All Stars. To Mr. Leon Smooth Edwards, I take my hat off to you, sir. Still can't believe that you really appreciated my efforts, my work, and to take it and do what you did with it. And, again, always have that respect for you. There's talk about that being your last Panorama. I certainly hope not. Having worked so closely with you, I know that you have so much more to give. You know, so I'll hate to see you go. Please don't go. Yeah? Yeah, and as it supporting music, I continue to do my thing very quietly inside here. And I appreciate all the support from all you guys, you know. Yeah, peace.